All
We're
right.
back.
Yes, we.
Well, half the show's back. This is essentially run and gun on last gift day.
I know it really is. I'm trying to figure out how in the world did I get here. But how y'all doing?
Flat. I'm Ace. This is the last gift podcast. My guy from Running Gun is just gonna join us tonight because Flash got a new job, so
Yeah,
he had to go in.
he
So
ended up getting fired on his day off like Craig, so he had to get a new job. Top flight security of the world now.
mm-hmm. Yeah, poor Devontae Smith. He got fired on his day off. That's pretty tough when you think.
Devontae Smith.
you, you didn't. That's the joke. That's what the thing. He got fired on his day off. You didn't see that? Nah, don't worry about it. It
Yeah,
said X Eagles. Don't worry. That was last week. But anyway, last give podcast. I have no idea what episode we're on anymore.
it is
Ace,
episode
am I
7.
right? Is JPeeps.
It's episode 7.
Episode 7. Cool, lucky 7. Some
Exactly.
people say it's unlucky. Oh well.
This has been a very interesting week, and it's only Tuesday. That's the funny part about this.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, we got people out here saying that stupid things left and right, and then that's nothing new. Uh, I actually found it very funny. I had to refer to 3 different instances where national championships were not outright won, but they were claimed. And then someone tried to present the argument to me saying that UCF is not recognized by the NCAA for winning a national championship in 2017, but they clearly, evidently are.
Hmm.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah. I don't. Sometimes I figured out people are. I don't want to say idiots. It's kind of hurtful, but
no, you can
they're
say idiots. You can say idiots.
yeah. I figured they're idiots, and it's like, all right, let's
Well,
not put all our attention with these people and just when they're saying utter nonsense. Like the other week, I was arguing about Rudy Gobert and his ex. He was being a Dallas. Yeah, there was a diehard fan trying to argue it wasn't his fault, and I was like, okay,
mm,
yeah, let's just leave it alone.
cool.
Just ghost the guy. Leave that argument. But anyway, be sure like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Next week's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna see what we're gonna do because I might not be here, but I might be able to have my laptop and we can do a show. But we'll work it out.
Please leave a comment because I would love to
Yes.
be interactive. I would love to be interactive, especially
It's not
tonight.
even interactive. It's not like they're part of it. It's symbiotic. The show doesn't work as well without
Yeah,
without without the viewers. Asking the questions because it gives
that's
us different topics where when I make the script, I don't even think about it. They could bring up a different topic and we're like, "Ooh, that's a good topic."
that's true. That's very true. Also, too, before we do start, did you know, Ace? There's a group of people out there that think Antonio Brown is better than Heinz Ward.
That's an interesting conversation that I am not even gonna touch because I know at one point Antonio Brown, if he didn't go mentally off the rails, he would have caught probably maybe top 3 all time, but he went off the rails and that went bye bye. So
That's true.
he didn't have the sustainability of play that would have got him up to that conversation. He had like 3 or 4 good years and then he
He fell
fell
hard.
from the graces of the NFL literally.
Very true.
So oh well. But we need to get this show started. It's already 4 minutes in.
It's all good. Let's get it started. Intros next. Y'all don't go anywhere. Y'all stay tuned.
All right, let us get on to this kickoff. So, you want to start with the Saints, or you want to start with the schedule?
Well, the title does say Stanley Cup playoff reaction or discussion.
All right, we could do that first then. All right,
We
put on the
could.
hockey
There's
crown.
something I want to talk about first, though, before we do that, and it is very, very funny that I'm seeing this. So, someone tweeted out, serious question for FAMU folks. If you all aspire to play in the FCS playoffs, why did you recently join a conference that you have to lose out in order to be able to compete there? Like no beef, I'm seriously wondering. I love the
Lose
look on your
out. I
because
don't get the lose out part.
thank you. I'm so glad you said this.
I
This is
don't get it. I'm serious. I really don't get what's.
I'm like you. I don't get it either. Because it's like, first of all, they won 8 straight and still got into the playoff. The only reason they went to the playoff is because they were
They
just
beat
one miss.
everybody besides Jackson and USF.
Exactly. I'm still. This is hilarious.
I don't get the lose
Lose.
out. I'm sorry, my brain's not.
I'm just gonna lose out too because I'm like, well, let's see. They were nationally ranked in the top 25. They only lost one conference game. They only lost one FCS game the whole season in the regular season. This I told you this is what we deal with.
Idiots.
Jackson State thinks that they can play in the SEC, and they think that they could.
If
They
they
think
played, if they no, you know what? If they played Missouri, I bet you to get blown out by 30.
of course, of course. I don't think they even beat Vanderbilt. I really don't.
I mean, it's the two different types of trenches when you think about it. Like skill
It-
position, they're gonna get probably. It might be close, but it's the offensive line is where you're like defensive lines. You're like,
thank you.
all right. If my eyes doze off into the bottom right or bottom left of the screen, I'm watching the Lightning Panthers game. So
It's all
don't
good.
kill me here, you two people.
Yeah, I've heard it all here recently, man. It is hilarious. But let's dive right into the hockey now before I really just give myself a hard time and just end up just talking about nonsense for the rest of the night. But yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs is in full swing.
Which
I'm
one you want
like
to talk? You want to recap the series first and then talk about round two, or what do you want to do
we
with
can
this? I say
we,
recap first. Let's talk
we
about the
can
Lightning and Maple Leafs.
we can't honestly. I will say that series actually had
That
me.
series was good.
That was a good series.
They
I
put
was
the
very,
Panthers on the power play. Bunch of ref hoes. Whatever. They
but
put the
I will
Panthers on there.
say I that was the one series I actually was very worried because Toronto
I'm gonna be honest. I was done. I thought the legs were just. It wasn't there. The legs were not there. The whole game five. The legs was it game five. No, game
this
six.
game
No,
five
game
six
five. When they blew it, I was watching that game up in Canada. I wanted to go to that game, and I'm like, that the ticket prices were crazy, so I didn't go. But I was like, oh, you start off good, and then toward that end of the game, they just couldn't get it going. The legs were
mm,
dead, and I was like, they played a lot of hockey. I was like, okay, the 2 rings, like it's better. Most teams never even sniffed the Stanley Cup final. I'll take it. And then I'm like, Nick Paul, Brandon Hagel. Brandon Hagel set up that goal for point in overtime, and Nick Paul carried them in game 7. The two guys
oh
that
yeah,
got line playing their first set of playoff games, fresh legs. They got it done for them when it needed to.
and
We're gonna
that
see if they can get it done for them right now without point, because points out for game 1, maybe even longer. So shall
and
see how
see
that goes.
that's a contribution to the ability to of John Cooper and his staff to develop talent in this hockey.
JBB finding talent in the league.
Yeah,
Julian
exactly.
Brisebois, he should have gotten an executive of the year by now, but for some reason he hasn't. So, I mean, he's pulled off the trades for Goodrow, for Coleman 2 years ago. Then he pulls off the trades for Paul and Hagel this year. And you're like, I don't know if it's because he gave up the first round picks, because I mean, he has so much on the rants for the F them picks motto. Like the Lightning
Mhm.
are the epitome now of F them picks. Since the McDonough trade, they've been like F these picks. We don't need them.
I mean, honestly, it's very true because I mean, even still, I think if the Lightning don't win it this year, I still feel like they're still going to be there for the next 5 years, and
Oh yeah,
In
Point's
those
under
next couple
contract for
years.
8 years. Kucherov's under
Exactly.
contract, I think 6 years still. So was Hedman. I
See, and
mean,
that's why
Stamkos is getting up there in age, but I mean, he was good. He had his career year this year in in points. Yet he first ever hit 100 points in his career. I mean,
exactly.
he's been like kind of so in the playoffs. I've been critical of him during game 5 and 3. He was not good, but
And this
I'm
is
gonna see. I think Polad, this is his last year in Tampa though, and maybe Killorn next year because they're gonna have to pay Sorelli and Sergachev next year. So I think Killorn's also gone next year, but unless he stays on a cheap deal.
and this is why I say I think that we're getting to witness a dynasty, a hockey dynasty in Tampa.
Oh, it's already been a dynasty. It's been a dynasty since 2015 when they made it to the Cup.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
living.
Hagel was gonna pull that.
Yeah, look, that one almost went in. But yeah, we're living in almost here coming up on a decade of dominance or a decade of
Since
consistent winning.
Vinnick bought the team, since Vinnick, the whole culture of that team, it's like like how okay, so the Lightning ring before Vinnick bought the team, but those days between when Cavalier and them won in '04 to then to when they won when they drafted Stamkos,
Hmm.
days when they drafted Stamkos, those were bad years. They're like really bad.
Yeah, I know. Because honestly, I can
Well, I
personally
mean, there was
tell.
the lockout and all that, but they weren't that great.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I can tell you, I saw it firsthand. Honestly, that was before. Again, I think no, it wasn't before you were born. My bad. But I will say that that was a time when there were more people going to Tampa Bay Storms games for arena football more than they were going
I miss
to.
those guys.
Oh, I
Those were
miss them.
fun days.
Those were a
Arena
lot of fun.
football is the best.
Dude, I played the video game. That's how much fun it was. Like they were more arena football in Tampa was bigger than the Lightning at one point. To be real with you,
Oh, they're going after Kucherov already. These dirty mother. Sorry, I
but
can't be saying
you're
there.
good.
See that hit on Kucherov, and they don't call. These refs suck.
You're good. But I will pose this one for round one. Who was the most impressive? I personally say just because of the speed at which they were able to get the series over with, I got to say the
The Avs
Avalanche.
felt
The
bad for
Avalanche.
the Predators. The Predators didn't have their starting goalie. I felt really
Right.
bad. That series, Roman Yossi was on a historic pace for a defenseman. Oh come on, Kucherov! What the hell? And okay, they stopped that rush. Okay, but yeah, so Roman Yossi was going, I think, 100 points for a defenseman, which is that I don't think that has ever been done. He should get the Norris, but yeah, it's like you can't feel bad because Yusei Saros didn't even play. I think because he was hurt. He got hurt right at the end of this year, so it was like they were on their backup and third strings, same as Pittsburgh, who didn't have Tristan Jarry the entire series until Game 7. He was hurt. Like he was still hurt in Game 7. Like after Game 7, you'd see him like hobbling like a literal penguin because he couldn't move his left leg. Where's it right
Wow.
leg? One of the two legs he hurt really bad. So and then you had Crosby miss Game 5 and 6 off a dirty hit on a
Was that?
concussion. So
I
you're like,
heard somebody saying something about it might be the end for him or something.
his contract I think is running up soon, and they've been talks of him might go on like a team like maybe even Colorado or something, try to get a ring before he retires because I know he's like 37. Ovechkin's right by, or he's like 38. Ovechkin's 37. So one of the two is like they're old now. So
Mm.
they said it's kind of because him and Malkin are up there in age, and they're like, is this the end of the Penguins core of Letang, Malkin, and Crosby? So you're like, okay, what did they do here? Because they don't have much of it. Bruh, stop with these cross ice passes. Whatever.
Oh, he's so
So
bothered.
I am bothered because they're not playing sharp. They're making these sad looking passes that I keep getting picked off.
That's true.
No,
The
sorry.
other thing I will say that did impress, I want to say the Calgary Flames.
St. Louis impressed me a lot. Jordan
Yeah.
Binnington, he turned back to 2019 when they won the cup.
Hmm.
He was it in that series. They shut down Minnesota for the most part. They even the offense chased Marc Andre Fleury for game Game 6, the closing game, they chased him from net and put in Talbot because he was getting got.
I'm
It
not
wasn't
gonna
good.
lie. I was really tempted to at our friend Coach Limke if Minnesota had advanced to the second round.
Bro, Sergachev, what the hell was that? Bro, all these guys are on painkillers. I swear to God, they're like, what the hell are they doing?
Oh my goodness.
All
Oh my
right, come
goodness.
on, Maroon, get something going with Belmar.
But here's the next one I'm asking. Is it the Avalanche's series to lose against St. Louis?
Yeah, Avalanche should be the favorite to come out of the West right now, but I want to see what happens with if Bennington keeps it up because that'll be a very interesting series. Because I think Perron's still there. They have their former Avalanche side. I mean, they don't have the firepower that Colorado has. Colorado will kill you on all four lines, but you got to watch St. Louis if the defense can lock it down with Bennington and the defenders, Pareko and I think Krug's there now, but it's one of the two. It's going to be close, but
I agree.
Colorado's
It's
been known to choke in the playoffs.
my thing is this. See, I remember last year I had a good feeling about the Avalanche getting all the way to the final, or not? Yeah, to the Stanley
Then they
Cup
got
final.
got by Vegas, and
Yeah,
Vegas fired their head coach now.
yeah. See, now I was like, how in the world did the Avalanche? Because the Avalanche looked good to me last year. They look good to me now. So I mean, if they get knocked out again, I'm just gonna be like, this
I
is
mean,
this is starting to
McKinnon
feel.
said he's staying, but McKinnon already said he's staying. But I don't know why he would stay if they lose again.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they do. If they lose again, I'm gonna start calling them the Atlanta Falcons of the NHL.
No, they wouldn't be the Atlanta Falcons. They'd be the Dallas Cowboys. But that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto
Oh
Maple Leafs are
Lord,
the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL.
it's actually pretty crazy when you think.
I'm trying to think who. You know what? I went to the Buffalo Bills. Except they've won a ring.
You know what's crazy though? If you think about it, two of the
There are
original.
this era's Buffalo Bills. Since Josh Allen days, they're the Josh Allen Buffalo Bills of the NHL.
You
They
got a
they
point.
keep losing in the playoffs, but they're so good. You know
You
they're
got
the
a,
town, but they have a bad bounces and they keep losing.
you got a point. It's the thing though is like two of the original six in the NHL are they currently have the longest like some of the longest losing streaks in the playoffs.
Okay, the Red Wings, I get. Red Wings have been in a rebuild. They are what the Lightning is gonna eventually happen to the Lightning, I think. Because what happened with the Red Wings is, and it kind of happened to the Rangers, but the Rangers are finally out of that phase. They
Mm.
mortgaged so much of their future to, and they did win. Now they won back-to-back cups, and then they hit Crosby in the three-peat attempt, and that went out the window. But the Red Wings is like they've been stuck in this cycle and they can't get out because they had the bad management, but now they're getting the good draft picks and Raymond and Cedar. So you're like, okay, so now they have the core pieces. Now they have to figure out what the hell they're doing with the rest of the team because they fired their head coach already. So and they got screwed in the draft lottery. I think they went all the way down to like number 8, and they were like second worst team in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see how that works, but
Yes, we shall. And
let's
that
talk
next.
about the other series. We didn't even talk about the Lightning. Toronto side of it, I should say. Toronto has some issues they need to address.
Oh yeah, talk to
I
me.
think Matthews is an unrestricted free agent next year. They need to put that in their back of their mind because if it was the NBA, Austin Matthews, if he was an NBA type player, he would have already requested a trade. I
Mm-hmm.
am dead serious because he's gonna win an MVP probably this year because he scored and he hasn't got out of the first round in his career. At least McDavid has gotten out twice, but Matthews can't even get out. So you're like, is this core good enough to win? Because I mean, they blew 2-3-1 leads against Boston. Then they didn't even make the bubble cup, the bubble playoffs, because they lost to Columbus in the first round, at the qualifying round.
Mm-hmm.
Then they lose to they literally choke against Montreal last year, and now they lose to, even though they were pretty neck and neck the entire series. They didn't show up in Game 7 that the way they needed to in any game. Like Nick Paul's got more career game 7 goals than Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner combined. And this is his first time in the playoffs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Y'all can't even keep a puck on the offside. Good back check, Kucherov. And then they start hounding Kucherov, being dirty as always. But all right, let's move into the next side. We have the Battle of Alberta. That is going to be a dogfight. That is going to be the ugliest. Tough luck, Knicks. Knicks got the 11th pick in the draft.
The Knicks got the 11th pick.
Cavs got 14. Knicks got 11. I don't know who got the other picks, but
what did the Orlando Magic get?
Oh, that is a rant. If they don't get a top 4 pick, oh my god, you guys are getting away with so much, Florida. If they don't get a top 4 pick, bruh, they literally jump on top of Stamkos' head. What the hell? They literally Stamkos doesn't even get the puck and they give him a bear. Like, you know how you teabag a kid in high school or middle school? That's exactly what they did to Stamkos, and they didn't call shit. Oh my god. All right. The Battle of Alberta. That is ugly. I mean, Edmonton won the first 2 games this year, and then Calgary beat them up the next 2 games. You're gonna see some major haymakers being thrown on fights. If you like intense playoff hockey, I'd tune into that one. Mm-hmm. If you like dirty playoff hockey, tune into the Battle of Florida.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. It's actually quite interesting when people say, you know, hockey would never work in Florida, but yet now you have 2 teams.
Are very good.
I thought that went in. Oh, my goodness, I thought that went in.
Clippers got 12 and goes to the Thunder.
You got 2 teams.
The Thunder have already number 12.
Ooh. Yeah, you got 2 teams from Florida duking it out in the playoffs. Playoff hockey for you in Florida. Mm-hmm. That was close to going in, though. Lightning almost got a point there. But with that, you know, we could swing over to the NFL now.
All right.
So in the NFL, I want to talk about this wide receiving room situation. Cause now I want to get you. I want to get you now.
Oh. We're gonna be top 4. I think the Magic are top 4 now.
Hold on.
Yes, I don't want number 1 though. Do not give me number 1. I don't want Chet Holmgren. Detroit got 5. Pacers got 6. Trailblazers got 7. Pelicans got 8. All right. Magic gonna get a top 4 pick. All right. Give me either number 2, 3, or 4. I don't want number 1. Wow. Screw it up and take Chet. And I don't want Chet at all.
Well, while he talks about that, so who has the best wide receiving room in the AFC East right now?
Dolphins. Yeah, but they have the worst quarterback. They have like maybe the worst quarterback, 3rd worst quarterback. I don't know, 2nd. The Bills have the best quarterback in the division.
The Bills
and the best. Diggs and Hill. Who would you want, Diggs or Hill? Probably Hill. It's like a 1A, 1B type of thing.
I would take Hill, honestly. I would definitely take Hill.
Yeah.
Diggs is nice, but Hill can do so much damage in so many different ways. Because Hill, if need be, he can return punts. If need be, he could return kicks and go the distance. He can hurt you from a wildcat position in the backfield. He can hurt you out wide. He can hurt you in the slot. Diggs, he can return punts, but I just don't see him. I don't see that being his forte.
Yeah,
I do like.
I think Gabriel Davis is going to take a step though.
Oh yeah, he is. Because you got, if you look at Emmanuel Sanders is not coming back yet. I think, but
I think he might head to retirement.
Yeah, I think, but I do know for a fact. I believe they still have Cole Beasley.
Did I just see that right? Did they really get number 1? Orlando got number 1. Oklahoma City got number 2.
Wait, the Magic have
Houston got number 3, and Sacramento got 4.
the Magic have the number 1 overall pick.
Don't take Holmgren. Take Paolo. Please take Paolo Banchero. We do not want Chet Holmgren. I am tired of skinny centers. I do not want a skinny center. Give me Chet Holmgren.
The Orlando Magic literally just secured the number 1 overall pick. Oh my gosh. That's his.
Whoa, please. Give me the guy the Formula 1 racers thought was Patrick Mahomes. Wow. Coach Mosley got us number 1.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I did not do a single lottery thing. I know they always get screwed. I'm losing it. They actually got something to work their way. The tank was successful.
About time the tank was successful. They've been tanking for a while now.
That smile is just great.
Or did Mickey Mouse finally rub a little bit of his
No, not Mickey Mouse.
Tinkerbell?
No.
Oh, it's okay. I know they're right around the corner.
I don't associate Disney with them. I know it's like a thing with them, but I do not like Disney. Just because I don't like Mickey Mouse. I don't like the idea of mouses in general, and they screwed up Star Wars and Marvel, but that's a different topic. But, let's get back into the football thing. I've been distracted enough, unless you want to go to the basketball.
I love how oh my gosh, I'm going to have so much fun. This is hilarious. But my bad. Definitely, again, like I said, definitely the Miami Dolphins have the best wide receiving room. I'm hoping Tua can make a huge leap forward, having Waddle and Hill. Hill had to have gone down there for a reason, I think.
South Beach and no income tax.
That's true.
And also, there's other stuff in Miami, but he has kids, so who knows? Does he have a wife? Something like that.
I mean, Star Island's pretty peaceful. I don't know if you know about Star Island.
Don't think so.
Well, but we got to have a conversation off camera.
Okay, so we need to have Paolo 1, Chet Holmgren's number 2 to Oklahoma. I don't know how the rest will work out, but I kind of want to Shaden Sharp, but I mean, I'll take Paolo. It's good. We're good. Or anybody of the top 4.
The other thing too, though, is as well. So we have the NFL schedule out, and so Week 1 has a lot of interesting matchups. So now I ask, what is the most anticipated matchup of Week 1?
Bills, Rams, Seahawks, Broncos, just to see what happens with Russ, but we don't. Bro, Cooch passed that to nobody. What the hell?
I can get behind that. I
mean, Bucks are going to beat the Cowgirls, so I'm not too worried about that. Saints will beat the Birds, so it's all right there.
Honestly, here's the thing. My thing is everybody's some people have the Cowboys winning the
I don't take Week 1 seriously.
Here's the thing. I don't either, to an extent. It's there's elements there because some teams they start off so hot and then they just fade out. Some teams they just come out flat and they never pick it up. And some teams just come out flat, but then they get hot later on. This is the time of year where there's going to at least be one playoff team from last year, I think, that may just come out and just look all the way flat and never pick it up. Quite honestly. That's what I think. And I don't know who it'll be, but it'll be somebody. I don't think it'll be the Bucks because Brady's not going to let that happen. I don't think it'll be Green Bay because Green Bay – actually, you know what? It wouldn't even surprise me if it was Green Bay, really.
For what?
For it to be a team that made the playoffs last year that would come out flat.
Oh. They have to get the chemistry with Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins. Oh god, Christian Watson and Sammy Watkins. That just does not go good on the tongue.
It doesn't seem like a Green Bay thing, honestly.
Pickett to Pickens. Pittsburgh might take a while to work themselves out.
I actually that's one team I'm actually really hoping ends up being pretty good is Pittsburgh.
I think Baltimore's on a revenge tour.
I agree, and I feel sorry for the Jets because they ain't gonna get it together week 1.
That's who they play. Oh,
The
Lamar's gonna kill him.
Exactly. They have a good secondary and stuff and whatnot, but I don't think that they'll be ready for Lamar week 1. If that game was later on in the year and the Jets actually had a chance to really pick up their stride, I'll say if the Jets were opening up with like the Falcons, then yeah, okay. But it's not happening. I think the Saints are going to crush the Falcons, though. The Dolphins.
Are you kidding me? These refs are trash. You call that penalty, but you don't call a bear hug on Stamkos' head. Holy sh! Unbelievable. Wow.
But overall, I do like the schedule. Thursday night, week 1 opener, Bills and Rams. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Sunday night game, I'm looking forward to with the Bucks and the Cowboys. Definitely looking forward to week 1 as well with the Cardinals and the Chiefs and the Raiders and the Chargers. The Raiders and the Chargers, that's going to be pretty good.
I think that game's gonna be good. Who did the Chiefs play?
The Chiefs play the Cardinals.
That's gonna be interesting. Let's see what Sky Moore got.
Exactly.
That secondary for Atlanta, not Atlanta, Arizona. Who's in that secondary? The corners.
Oh my, Byron Jones, I believe.
No, Byron Jones is in the Dolphins.
Oh, my bad. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about. Oh my gosh, what's that other kid's name? He went to Washington. Not Taylor Rapp.
Oh, Buda Baker.
Yes.
He's a safety. I'm talking corners.
Oh, corner? Yeah, I honestly don't know who they have at corner.
Marco Wilson.
You're supposed to be afraid of him so he could throw shoes. I mean, honestly, look, if he manages to get a hold of Juju's shoes and everybody else's shoes and just tosses them, they may have a chance. Just saying. But overall, I think, yeah. And then also, too, we got to talk about this, though. The Saints getting Jarvis Landry. 1 year, $3 million.
Hey, I saw this on Twitter. This is a perfect summation of the Saints from last year to this year. They had a wide receiver corpse last year, and now they have a wide receiver core this year.
Yeah, Saints went from rags to riches.
Yeah. I don't know how you handle that because they went from Callaway, Harris, and Traquan, Thomas Olave, and Jarvis. I mean, they got to stay healthy for it to work, but that's not bad.
It all needs to come together.
Health. I think health is the biggest factor for that team.
Exactly. Health will be the biggest factor. There has, again, I say the same. Oh, so we got a comment.
We got a comment? Who going to be y'all biggest surprise this year? I can tell you who didn't make the playoffs this year, but I don't surprise.
My hopes are high for Miami.
I can see Miami. Okay, I'm gonna be wrong.
And the Eagles.
Either New York's are gonna make it. Philadelphia made it last year, so I don't consider them a surprise. They might take the next step and win the division, but they're not much of a surprise. I can tell you who'll be a disappointment.
Tell me.
San Francisco.
I could see that.
They have a rookie. So, and Trey Lance, they saying he's underperforming. It's not like they're underwhelmed with him or something like that. So it's kind of like that's why they haven't traded Jimmy Cheese. Like they don't know what he's gonna do for them. So wow, they just what the hell? They like what's it called?
They still got that whole thing going on too with Debo Samuel that they got to get straightened
Yeah,
out.
Debo might not even be on the team in September.
Exactly, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is why he wants to trade. And plus, he
He doesn't
knows.
want to be that weird role that he plays.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he doesn't want to be an H back taking the
I think
ball
they call
from.
him wide back or something like that. It's like
It's
wide
technically a
back.
glorified wildcat type player,
Yeah,
but I can understand why he doesn't want to do that. He wants to go to be in the league for what he was or intended to be in the league,
drafted for wide
yeah,
receiver,
and he wants to maintain his longevity to be able to
which
last longer.
uh,
So I fully understand. You know, but my hope is as far as a surprise, definitely Miami because
Indianapolis maybe, but they have Matt Ryan. I don't know how much stock I put into Matt Ryan.
exactly that's why I'm just like we need to calm down with Indianapolis. Like
I
I
have zero faith in Minnesota because I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
he said he said they
Detroit,
got to get a Super Bowl. What you mean?
Detroit. That's my surprise. Detroit is going to go from 2 games won to 6. I'm going to be optimistic.
Now you got me wanting to pull up the Detroit Lions schedule. See, now you done did it. Now you did it.
Jameson, if Jameson back, I mean, I don't have zero faith. Did Detroit draft a quarterback? I think Jared Goff's the only quarterback still, right?
I don't think Detroit drafted a quarterback.
So
Okay, here we
Jared Goff, they got a running back. DeAndre Swift's good. They can fix the offensive line. They got Aiden Hutchinson and Jameson Williams.
go. I can tell you this now. They're gonna lose week 1 to Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
They might beat the Commanders week 2. They're gonna lose they're gonna lose to Minnesota week 3. Week 4 they could win against Seattle. So what is that?
yeah.
That's 1, 2, 2
Winning
and
3.
2. I could see them being 2-2 coming out of week 4. Week 5 against the Patriots, no. 2-3 going into the bye week. Dallas coming up. That's 2-4. Miami 2-5. Green Bay 2-6. Chicago 2-7. The Giants. That's 2-8.
3. No, 3.
Nate, I got 2-8. Buffalo 2-9.
That's 9.
12. The Jaguars, they could beat Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville. Three wins. Minnesota.
They'll
At
get
home.
one in Minnesota. I think they'll get one against Minnesota.
Okay,
They
so
got one against Minnesota last year.
all right, so we'll give them 1. So that's 4. The Jets
5.
Okay. So okay. The Panthers, yeah, they could beat the Panthers.
Yeah, 6.
The Bears again at home, and then the Packers.
Bears. I don't have zero faith in the Packers, and they generally play Green Bay tight at least once a season. So
all the time. So I mean,
flip a coin on that.
Yeah. So I mean, I could see maybe 4. They could probably irk out 4. Do they get Jacksonville in Florida, or do they get Jacksonville? They get Carolina in Carolina. They get Jacksonville up in Detroit. So they could. I think they could win that. By week 15, we should know what the Jets are. So that'll say a lot about if Detroit can beat the Jets. But yeah,
It's gonna be interesting.
The other thing about that. Go ahead, say what you were gonna say.
No, I was gonna say, what do you think about that Brady deal for Fox when he retires?
I think Fox really wants him, and they want to make sure that he stays retired.
Hey, I'm not gonna get into politics, but he'd fit perfectly.
I see what you did there. Wow, I see what you did there.
How was that not a hook? If they don't call it a goal, Lord,
Lightning got a goal. Lightning are on the board.
Wait, for real? I'm behind on the stream, but that is a hook if I've never seen one. So that must be they got to go on the power play. I'm
behind on the stream.
I am behind on my stream on my phone. Don't kill me.
It's actually pretty crazy, but I'm actually like not as worried about this series for the Lightning as I was the last series.
As long as Braden comes back at any point in the series, they're gonna win it.
Let's see what
If
else.
Braden comes back,
Thoughts on Drew Brees leaving NBC? Oh yeah,
I
I,
don't care.
yo,
He's not coming back anyway.
you're just gonna leave it like that? He's not
Who
coming back.
scored? Perry
I will say this:
or
I
Stamkos?
the Saints this season will go as far as Jameis, as long as
No,
Jameis. Yeah,
they will go as far as Jameis knee and Michael Thomas ankle goes.
I could get behind that. I think Jameis is
Perry scored. Okay.
coming from someone that's had ACL surgery. I think that his knee will hold up. I think that his consistency will play a huge role. I do think LASIK eye surgery has done wonders for him. He can't have the games that he had when he was in Tampa, where he plays good 1 week or for 2 weeks, and then plays bad for another week. He
There's
can't.
one concern I have with them.
What is
There's
that?
one concern. Kamara will get suspended for 6 games at some point this season.
Oh
I
yeah, Deshaun
zeroed
Watson.
out in my mind. Huh?
Deshaun Watson's got his coming too.
Oh, Deshaun's got his coming. I know that, but Kamara will get his suspension from what happened in the Pro Bowl because
Yep.
the NFL loves the Saints like that. So I'm not too worried about that. But they don't have a solid backup behind. Man, Mark Ingram's getting up there in age. I don't know how the legs are going to hold up. And Abram Smith, I mean, that's the only guy they added in the room. So we shall see what happens with that for how they hold up when the suspension comes.
Honestly, they should make it a priority between now and when fall camp opens up to bring someone in.
They need a guy who's like 25 to 28 years old. Not
There's
like a
guys out
young guy who not like a young guy who like first time in the league or anything. Like they just need a guy who knows how to run. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear.
how much to convert Taysom Hill to running back.
Hey, I'm fine with that. He'll steamroll half the teams he plays against.
As long as he don't play quarterback, Ace is all good. Ace is fine with it.
Damn right. Damn right. As long
I
as he
know
doesn't play quarterback, I am a very happy human.
I know this for a fact. Um,
All right. Jair Alexander just got paid. Philip Lindsay's gonna be the backup handcuff of everybody's fantasy team next year
it's
because
actually
Jonathan
how Philip
Taylor
Lindsay-
will be the number one pick, and he'll be the
actually
backup.
it's crazy how Philip Lindsay went from being like the promising child in Denver because he was wearing Terrell Davis's number to now he's like on his third team and he's a third string running back.
Mm-hmm.
Insane how he's just like continued to dwindle down.
That's the
Jair,
life of an NFL running back.
Jair Alexander. I mean, it's just that's like yeah. I mean, hey,
That's just regular news. I mean, he's a good corner.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
top
kind
eight, top
I
six.
knew
Packers
I
fans will
knew
kill me if I don't say top five, but
when he was coming out of
he's up
Jack,
there.
when he was coming out
Hmm?
of Louisville, I think he was going to be nice.
He's been nice.
My thing is this now. Here's what I want to talk about before we move on to the NBA. I want your thoughts on this because we talked about before we
Amy,
came on.
hit me. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Hines Ward
And Antonio Brown.
who was
Oh,
the
that's a penalty. He got him right on the side of the head.
who
What
was
the
the
hell?
that country accent
Sorry.
just came all the way out. Oh my
Huh?
goodness. That little country accent came all the way out just now.
You mean the four? The the.
But
Oh, they did call it a penalty. Okay, good job.
I will say this right here. So Antonio Brown had 11,207 yards. This is comparing the numbers of both their careers in Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 11,207 yards, 74 touchdown receptions, played in 130 games. Hines Ward, in his time in Pittsburgh, 12,083 yards, 85 touchdown receptions, and he played in 217 games, 87 more games than Antonio Brown.
And how many more yards? Like, I think like 1,000, right?
Let's see, do 11,207. Actually do the math here.
I think it's
11,000
1,000 yards more. And you said 8. He played in
line,
how many games more did he play?
87 more games. He had 876 more yards.
Oh, than Antonio Brown. I know Antonio was great for a couple of years, but then he fell off because mentally. I mean, I think if he didn't fall off mentally, he would have been a top 4 receiver all time.
See, and here's the thing we
If
also
the
need to
CT
consider.
didn't catch up with him.
Here's the thing we need to consider too. Antonio Brown was not the same blocker and was nowhere near as physical as Hines Ward was. Hines Ward
All right.
was a wide receiver.
Are we talking receiver, or all around, just player?
All around player.
Oh, well, Antonio had the special teams value, but then Hines Ward had block.
Hines Ward had special teams value
stuff.
too.
No, I'm talking like the punt return stuff. Like
I'm
just being
Hines had that.
Yeah, but was like Antonio was Tyreek before Tyreek.
That's true too. Let's see.
Y'all think Marquise got a shot at the Pro Bowl? If it was, it would be on special teams.
I'm gonna finish.
It'll be on special teams. What was I on? Oh yeah, so Hines. So Antonio, they put him. He was just killing it as an X, but then Hines, you play Hines as a corner, you're like, okay, I might just get runned over, but then Antonio might just fly right by you and just embarrass you on the ground.
See, here's the thing for me with Hines Ward. It was Hines Ward could literally you didn't want to press Hines Ward because he will bully you, and then you didn't want to be the person having to chase down Jerome Bettis or Plexico Burgess because Hines Ward will come out of nowhere and just blindside you and just knock the crap out of you.
Yeah,
that's the type of physical guy he was. With Antonio Brown, you don't get that. You just have another element that you have to worry about in coverage. But same thing can be said for Hines Ward. You got to worry about him in coverage, but after the play has been made by the receiver, you didn't have to worry about Antonio Brown knocking the crap out of you downfield like Hines Ward would. Plus, not to mention, too, Hines Ward was blocking.
I think those were two different eras of Steelers football when you think about it.
It was because you got to think about, you got to look at
because Antonio was great when Le'Veon was there.
And then Hines Ward was great.
Great with Bettis.
Yeah, well, he had Bettis his whole career, basically, for the most part. Really.
Yeah, but it's like Le'Veon was also taking some of those receptions, so you're like, yeah. Antonio got. Well, Hines, he was like, okay, Ben, give me the ball. I'm gonna either run somebody over, or if you give him a ball, I'm gonna take your head off.
Exactly.
That's not hard. That's what I said. I don't want to make a decision between the two of them because I know both of them were good in their own respective ways, and you're like, for what's it called? What I said the word earlier and I already forgot it. Sustainability. I give to Hines Ward 100% because Antonio was really good for like 5 years, but then he fell.
It actually really makes me wonder, like,
how perfect really ruined that, man.
It actually really makes me wonder, though, like, like, how did practice go with Hines Ward against Troy Polamalu?
Oh, I would have signed up to watch that.
Right? I wish I could have somewhere.
I think those were the Ryan Clark years too, right? Yeah, and Ike Taylor.
You had Ike Taylor. You had James Harrison, Plexico Burgess, Ben Roethlisberger, Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, like that.
What do you think back in those days? You think Marquise was it Mike Pouncey or Marquise Pouncey was the one over there?
You had both the Pouncey twins. One Pouncey twin was down in Miami. One of them was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know one of them was up there. I wonder how practice went if him and Hines Ward just coming at those guys.
It's wild times, crazy times. But
I wonder what Pittsburgh does. I wonder what Pittsburgh does with Pickett.
We'll
It'll be
see.
interesting.
We're gonna see. Let's see
The
this
baby
question.
hand
Y'all
era.
think
All right. I
y'all
already
think
said
Marcus
this.
Brown?
I think it'll be special teams. It won't be on defense.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. You got a point. He's gonna have to have like a serious breakout season, and he's gonna have to take a starting spot away from somebody. Um, my
He'll
my
get
best,
Keanu Neal spot probably. The hybrid
yeah,
safety linebacker
oh yeah,
position.
because and honestly, it does work in his favor as far as rolling coverage to his
Dan Quinn will
side.
put him in a place to be good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then the thing is, we have to consider this too. Here's a good example. Um, what's that boy? Trevon Diggs he's a good corner, but he also for every interception he gives up a lot of big plays. Trevon
Mm-hmm.
Diggs needs help over top. Who was the one person that they brought in that could possibly give Diggs help
They
over
need to
top?
fix Malik. What's the guy's name? Malik Hooker. They need to fix his role. Give him the Marcus Williams role instead of
Exactly.
the in the box role. But
And you could
we shall
and
see.
it's up to Dan Quinn to put him in position to be successful. So I think it depends on what all Marquise Bell does this season. But I do think if he does make the Pro Bowl as a rookie, it can be special teams. He's definitely he's gonna have to crawl his way up. I'm confident that he can make that roster though.
Oh, he will make the team. I have zero doubt. He's gonna have to. He's already doing the special team work, which you already saw. I think who posted the picture? Somebody was doing it. He's been doing good special teams work, and that's how you make it as undrafted. You start special teams and you go up. So
What did I say when we had Coach Limke on here? What did I say?
I don't remember. Start from
The
up
more,
bottom, go up. I don't know.
more you are able to do in the NFL, the longer you will play in the league. If you are a defensive
Oh yeah,
back and you go
versatility.
exactly, you need to be able to play the
I
nickel.
remember that now.
You need to be able to play every spot in that secondary if you're going to be a DB, and you need to be able to like cover and return punts and kicks. That's how you survive in the NFL.
All right, let's move on to the NBA before we wrap this up.
Yes, let's.
I don't got anything for hot topics. I haven't fought baseball in a
It's all
couple
good.
weeks.
It's all good. I feel like
All
we've done a
right.
good.
So Grant Williams ended Giannis back-to-back run. I mean, Drew Holiday was he had help from. Wesley Matthews, Grayson Allen, and two other guys did not show up at all. They had zero. Like their bench was bad. I don't
My
know if
thing
Chris
is,
Middleton would have changed that fact, but they need to say adios amigos to Grayson Allen, and they need to go. They need to go get some
my
wing
thing is,
help
my thing is,
who can be a bucket.
why have they been holding on to a Duke guy for this long anyway?
I don't know. I don't like Grayson Allen. I mean, he was all right against Chicago, but
I
he
don't
ain't
think
that
anybody
good.
Chicago.
Chicago in the
um,
playoffs is just like Toronto
my
nowadays.
thing is right here: is Luca going to be able to overcome the Splash Brothers?
He need Dinwiddie to play like how he did in Game 7 to beat them. Him or
Yes,
Brunson need to play. Brunson either needs to play like how he did in round 1, or Dinwiddie needs to play like how they did in Game 7.
I
If
agree.
any one of those two guys shows up, they'll be good. But I think their small ball lineup will work against Golden State if they don't put in Kevon Looney. If they put in Looney, they're gonna get killed, I think.
My thing is they
And
got to be
they're guaranteed to lose Game 6. That's a fact. They will lose Game 6.
if it gets to Game 6.
If it gets to Game 6, they will lose. Clay will kill them. Clay in Game 6 is just built. I don't know if it's some kind of what's it called, the secret water, whatever it's called, special stuff. Mike special stuff he drinks
Yep.
for Game 6.
I got a hot topic for you. FCS playoff celebration bowl. They've been talking about it. Oh yeah, they have. Oh, this is hilarious.
All right, we get to that after you go NBA, I guess.
I got you. I got you. We'll definitely talk about
What,
it.
so what do you got to say for this? I think he will need help to do it. He won't do it by himself.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, oh yeah, no, he's definitely not going to do it by himself. This is a different animal than what you saw against the Suns, because again, it goes back to what Patrick Beverly went on First Take and said, which was just dropped dead hilarious.
We'll put that
You
in hot topics too. We'll put Bev
yeah,
into hot topics.
but yeah, I mean, Golden State is not the Suns. This is a whole different monster. Golden State can shoot from anywhere, be consistent from anywhere, and you can fall out of the game just messing around with them if you try to go shot for shot with them.
You gotta play defense like how you did in Game 7.
You do, and you got to do it for a whole series. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
take any plays off against Golden
And,
State.
and the issue with Golden State is they can kill you so many different ways. If Steph's not having a good night, Poole might be having a great night. Andrew Wiggins has been good for at least 17 every game.
Yep. And the scary thing too is they've been able to overcome this whole thing of teams getting Draymond Green in like foul trouble or getting him ejected. They've done such
Yep.
a great job overcoming that now. So that's
And
like that doesn't work.
you know the scariest part about the Warriors is they got a little beast, so like a mini Giannis on their bench right now, and they got a very good center sitting in the G League out right now.
See, that's Steve Kerr at work.
They got Kaminga just sitting there. They got Wiseman getting himself 100%. You think they bad this year, boy? Them boys gonna be bad next year.
Exactly. I'm telling you, dude, that's Steve Kerr, man. He's a magician with it. Oh my goodness, I
GM,
changed the background. Got to change the background. Whoops.
baby
But
Groot, Thanos,
the other one
baby
too is
MJ.
in the East, you got the Heat and the Celtics. So
Oh, they're
how does
gonna blitz Tatum.
this one?
They are gonna blitz Tatum. I don't guess that you saw what they did to Tobias Harris. Like Jimmy said, y'all chose Tobias over me. That was hilarious when he did that at the end of game 6. I mean, but that is gonna be a dogfight of the series. I think I gotta
Oh,
give
I,
credit to God, I'm forgetting the name now. Jerry West and the boys over there in Miami.
mm,
They continue to produce. They were in a rebuild for what, a year and a half at most, and they
these
were right back contending.
these two teams or Eric Spolstra and Pat
Isn't Jerry
Riley.
West the GM? Pat
Jer-
Riley.
Pat Riley. I don't think Jerry West is the GM. Jerry West was a Laker.
I know, but he was doing something over there. I think.
All right, so let's
I'm
do
not
this.
sure. I know Pat Riley's over there, but I don't know why I said Jerry West. I know he's doing something over there. I don't know what he's been doing now.
So the Heat GM is Andy Ellsberg, and he's been in that position since
Oh,
2000.
West is with the Clippers. Huh. That's what it is. Mixed them up. Pat Riley's in the Miami and Jerry West is on the Clippers. My bad.
But if you really look at it, these two teams have been the most consistent teams in the East since LeBron first came to South Beach. Or really, yeah, since LeBron came to South
Since
Beach.
LeBron got drafted. Since LeBron got drafted to Cleveland, they've been the most consistent teams.
Yeah, exactly. And it pays because regardless of how good or how bad the Heat may be down for one season, but they'll be right back the next season, and it's
I think I
incredible.
think I think the best way to say it is since Dwayne Wade went to Miami, they've been consistent.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, very consistent. And it goes back to the days even too of Alonzo Mourning, Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that you can't let this series go to a game. Was that game 7? No, 1-2 is in Miami. 3 and 4. Oh no,
Game
yeah.
5 is in Miami. Game 6 is in Boston. Game 7 will be in Miami.
You can't let this be a series where the Celtics are up 3-2 going into game 6 and going back to Boston. You can't let it happen.
If that happens, I think Jimmy Butler's dropping 40.
But will that be enough?
Good point. Marcus Smart's out for game 1. So is Al Horford.
Take advantage of it right now from the word go.
You need a quick start with Miami. I know Kyle Lowry's been out, but you've been good with Jimmy. As long as Jimmy Butler's there, Miami's gonna have a shot. I mean, they struggled when Joel Embiid first came back, but then Eric Spo adjusted and took care of that. So we shall see what happens this time with Tatum.
I agree.
But
I
all
agree.
right, let's go into hot topics and talk about Pat Bev, or you want to talk about what Ashton asked first?
I'm gonna talk about this because this has actually been very hilarious all day. Boy. See, and it all started. It all
Once upon a
started
time.
because the 1400 decided that they needed to go open their mouths and say stupid stuff. So here's the tweet. Actually, I can read it off. So they said today's nugget: the two Celebration Bowl conferences had a total of two players drafted, and the SWAC team that went to the FCS playoffs had no one drafted. We have to dead this silly FCS playoffs exposure. Got to play against the best stuff. First of all, this tells me Jackson State is afraid to play against the best. That's what it tells me. Because quite honestly, if they had a set of cojones, they would go out there and they would be trying to go schedule the top dogs in the FCS because they claim that they can beat them because they have a bunch of guys that couldn't cut it in the SEC that decided to transfer to Jackson, Mississippi. So that's why I came back and said this. The Celebration Bowl conferences in themselves actually had three total players drafted, which tells me they don't teach you how to count in Mississippi. There were 17 FCS players drafted from non-HBCUs. 8 of them played in the FCS playoffs. So this whole thing of playing the best and stuff, Jackson State needs to realize they are not the best, even in HBCU football. So I don't know where this is coming from because this is very, very boneheaded, very much boneheaded. And then we have people out here trying to say that we need to just keep it HBCUs only, play against HBCUs and stuff. When honestly, and I understand the SWAC has a terrible record outside of the SWAC, but to be honest, the only way you're going to get better is if you go outside of your conference. And then a couple of players made it very obvious. If outside of the SWAC, these other conferences don't respect the SWAC. You have to step outside of your comfort zone and go play these teams. So, because quite honestly, I've been a huge advocate to say, I think FAMU should play Sanford. I think FAMU should get a series with Kennesaw State, get a series with Jacksonville State. But everybody wants to say, no, we don't need to play them. Well, quite honestly, put them on the schedule. I guarantee you it'll be an electric environment still. Put it on the schedule, make it a night game. It'll be very interesting. A home and home series. Heck, the last time Sanford came to town and played FAMU only lost the game by a touchdown.
Right when we played Jackson State, they lost by a point.
Exactly.
Oh, you actually heard that?
yeah, I heard that. But I mean,
but it's not. I'm not wrong. But you're not wrong. I was like, Jackson State fans with a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Dude, I'm telling you, no, because see,
Jackson State Twitter is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Dude, see, and here's the problem with that. I have a tough time taking you seriously when you say stupid things like, "Oh, we could have won the Sugar Bowl because Baylor's wide receiving core outside of one wide receiver is not as good as South Carolina State's wide receiving core." That was a dumb take. The other thing is they feel like they can play and beat 13 of the 14 SEC teams. That was also dumb too. Don't get me started. The other one was, and it was actually the funniest one. The top 25 coaches poll for the FBS is nothing but whitewashed media. That was the other one. Yes, this is where we're at right now. My thing is, and I actually had a conversation with a lot of people about this. If it wasn't for Dion, where would Jackson State be right now? Please tell me.
Bottom 5. Am I being too harsh if I say bottom
Um,
five in the SWAC?
in the SWAC East, they would
No,
be
in the SWAC conference itself,
in
just like SWAC West and East combined. I'd say
the
bottom
SWAC
five.
in the SWAC in total, they would be right in a deadlock with Mississippi Valley. And the top two teams in the SWAC East right now would be FAMU and Alabama A&M if it was not for Dion. So we need
I mean,
to
the only
come.
reason why they got Travis Hunter is because of Dion.
It's the only reason why they have a lot of the kids on that team is because of Dion.
Well, I wasn't even gonna go there. I'm just saying they wouldn't even have the best prospect in the country if it wasn't for Dion. They wouldn't even have half the team if it was for Dion. If it wasn't for Dion.
I agree because I mean I will say this, and it is a known fact. If Dion is not the coach at Jackson State,
Travis Hunter's a
Travis
Seminole.
yeah, Travis Hunter's playing in front of 85,000 at Doak Campbell right now. I'm just going to call it what it is. Because that's where he was deadlocked to go to. The only reason that Jackson State was able to flip him was because he took the visit to the Soul Bowl between Jackson State and Alcorn. But this whole FCS playoff celebration bowl thing, it's as someone from the FCS Sports Radio alluded to, it's not about viewership. It's about playing for a championship. The Celebration Bowl, and we saw it this year and we saw it the year before. Even though the champion is decided on the field, the computers are still playing a factor.
Huh.
And
Right.
as some players have alluded to, a lot of these guys would love the opportunity to go play in the FCS and show what they've got against the top tier teams in the FCS. And I said it earlier, the fact that the talent gap is so great. I don't know when this happened. Something happened between the turn of the century and the end of the 90s where the talent gap at these schools got so great that it just
I was
became
gonna say kids just become athletic freaks, but yeah, that works too.
It is part of that. It is part of that.
I mean, kids are running so much faster these days. I mean, I know training has improved, medicals have improved. So, like when they get torn ACLs, it's nothing now. So
that's true too. It's honestly part of it is the difference is the linemen. I think a little bit of it is the social media age has made these top tier FCS programs more visible because they've been more
yeah.
up facilities and everything, and HBCUs are just now starting to really do that.
To add on to that social media thing, most kids they like to stay home. To stay home, close to home. The local schools got better talent than they are now, where they have the money draws.
Yeah,
and the NIL is just building up like times 30. I mean, look at Jordan Addington. No, what's the Jordan Addison from Pitt. Pitt had a top receiver. Now he's going to a top big boy school. So we shall see.
But and then see the other thing too is there in some instances that NIL thing is not going to play a factor because at the end of the day,
some factors, yeah,
yes, but you have some teams out there in the FCS that are constant players in the FCS playoffs.
Colton, gotta put that away, man.
As he constantly is stuck on this lightning game. You have some teams in such this instance where you got schools like Montana and Montana State. They're going to be all right because for one, I don't see too many teams that are going to be willing to go up into the elements of Montana to play the
scout and recruit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, scout and recruit and play against those guys. There's FBS teams that don't even want to touch Montana and Montana State.
Hey, because they know where they need to go check out? They need to check out the farmlands of Kansas. The plains of Kansas. You will find a Jordy Nelson.
You got a point.
Go find a Jordy Nelson. Go running around on the plains, working the farms. You'll find yourself a stud.
You got a point. I'm not gonna lie. That's where North Dakota State goes to get their talent. That and they do.
Hey, they've gotten some guys now. And
They
then they
do.
also just go to Tampa and they just take a guy out of their back.
They do. And see, that's the other thing too. Is see? Oh, and the Lightning just scored.
Why you
That's the other thing
don't
too.
spoil this? I am watching on my phone. I'm about like a minute and a half behind. You're
Just go turn on
spoiling.
the TV.
I can't. I don't have a TV in my room. I have to go outside.
Oh,
You
you poor
know,
soul.
we're not like rich people. You know, I don't put a TV in my room. I have my monitor and I have my phone streaming this shit.
I'm
Give me a
sorry.
break now. All
I'm
right, but
sorry.
where
But
were
I
we?
mean,
We were talking about the recruiting stuff.
yeah. So I will say this: the teams in the state of Florida, the FCS schools like FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, they have to do, I think, a better job of keeping that talent that's managing to weasel
Ooh,
its way.
that's actually a good goal. I like it, Belmar. Sorry, I'm behind.
The talent that is in Florida that's managing to weasel its way to North
North
Dakota, it needs to be contained in the state of Florida.
USF needs to fix themselves in their recruiting in Florida. They're not even they. Flash said this best. I'm gonna quote Flash. Well, I'm not quoting him, but I'm gonna paraphrase. I have the general gist of what he said. He said USF focuses more on blank. I'm not gonna say it because it's not really bad if I say it. They focus more on that than they do about. I mean, football, which is that's not a bad thing, but then again, those people bring nothing. Like your
There
football
has
team would bring you actual revenue
there has
for
to
your
be a proper
school.
blend of
Yeah, there needs
all
to be a balance. There needs to be
there.
a thing if you want to say that.
But now, see, the other thing too is that someone said here, and I'm not going to entertain this person just because out of spite, they don't want to entertain us. We don't entertain them. The only thing eye opening was the line play. Once HBCs recruit bigger and more athletic linemen, they are doing now, then teams like that won't be a problem. That's
I mean,
true, but
like
also
for a
too,
penny. I think that's the
there's
best summation of FCS and big boys.
yeah, I mean, there's an element that goes into that. You can have the size and the speed, and that does play a factor, but you also have to have the right scheme to go along with it.
Yeah, and coaching.
Exactly. So if you can scheme kids or put kids in the right positions to win, and this is part of that whole Tom Brady thing of preparation begins Sunday and it all comes together on Saturday. If you can prepare and scheme with all of that and put it in the right position to be successful, then it'll translate to victories. But
Mm.
again, my
We got
take
we got
is,
Pastor JPeeps.
oh, look, I've been trying to say that. I've said this multiple times, and I was
I know
called
you
crazy.
said it multiple times. I'm just saying he's bringing it back.
I was called crazy multiple times. It was, oh, we don't need the SWAC champ. We have the SWAC championship. We don't need to do this. And I'm like, well, you know what? Kids come to play for national championships. That's what they want. Sorry, it's just the truth. Don't shoot the messenger.
Same way they compete for state titles.
Exactly,
They
but
like to
again,
say they reached the top. Ain't nothing wrong
exactly.
with that.
But again, at the same time, too, you have these same people out here saying that Grambling invented tailgating and stuff in junior day, and then you
I
got, like
don't
I
know
said,
who invented tailgating, but I'm pretty sure it's not Grambling.
dude, it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Grambling folk get down and stuff with crawfish and gumbo and everything like the Southern folk do.
I'm gonna
But
look it up. Who invented tailgating?
I actually had a thing about that actually on a one of college football's 150 things in 2019. I think like tailgating started as like a thing where you could like pull up with your car and sit in
The Green
the
Bay Packers or
yeah,
Yale. Yale or
it,
Green Bay?
it was
They
Yale, I
said
think.
Green Bay in 1919 and then Yale in 1906. Okay,
It
so
was
1906, Yale.
it was Yale. But yeah, my take of the whole FCS playoff celebration bowl thing is you play the game to win national championships. HBCU's got to do a better job of closing the gap against the teams in the upper echelon of the FCS. And I'm going to leave it at that. The talent gap has to be closed, and I can't, for the life of me, I don't know how it got so far apart. Because somewhere between Appalachian State and Georgia Southern for leaving for the FBS and the Sun Belt, and the rise of North Dakota State, somewhere in there, the talent gap got so wide. Off
Yeah.
script said it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. That's very
I don't
true.
know who that is, but okay.
He's another podcaster and stuff.
Mm.
He's pretty good at what he does. I think that's like his calling as a career, though. I'm not sure.
Mm.
It's like a whole morning show, an afternoon show, and like a late night show. I think something like that.
All right, here it is. All right, so Magic President of Operations Jeff Wiltman said they don't plan to trade the first overall pick, and they said what happens in Chicago will stay in Chicago in terms of how they're going to party with the number 1 pick, like celebrate getting it. They said what stays in Chicago, what happens stays in Chicago, like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas thing. I wonder what happened in Vegas, but to start that phrase, but it's whatever. That's up to
True.
imagination.
Also, too, before
Bev?
we, yes, that, and then also do prayers up to Tariq Cohen. I don't know if you saw the video.
Yeah, prayers up to. I saw the video. That's just tough break. I can't.
You never hope for that to happen to somebody, but hopefully he's okay. I hope.
I mean, his thing, the way how it all went down for him. His own teammate got pushed. His other teammate into his leg, and it knocked him out for 2 full years. He's finally got back, and then that happened. Yeah, it's real tough to see, watch, just know about.
Yeah.
So prayers up for him. Hopefully he can make it back. They said there's a possibility the Bears might sign him, put him on LTIR or whatever the equivalent is, and then put him into a coaching office role, like helping out the team. That's what I heard they did with Zach. What's his name? Zach Miller. When his leg blew out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did with him. They signed him LTIR and then they put him into a coaching role with the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be good.
But now I want to talk about Patrick.
If he doesn't come back.
I want to talk about Patrick Beverly.
You want to go first, or you want me? I'll say quick and fast if you want.
Oh, I was going to be quick and fast too. It's actually very funny. Patrick Beverly hit the nail right on the coffin with it.
Oh, he was 100% right, but he wasn't the one who's supposed to say it.
Because he was like, they spent the whole season talking trash about how nobody's going to beat them and how they're going to repeat, and then he said Chris Paul can't guard nobody, and Stephen A. Smith. I love how Stephen A. Smith tried to play it off like he was like, you can't. He was like what you saying what? It's like, it was kind of like that whole like, don't talk about him like that. You can't say that on TV, but he was spitting facts.
They can't. Okay, what happened with Chris Paul is the same thing as what Aaron Rodgers, but they can't say it.
And yeah, and someone that
is the same thing, but
someone that was willing to say it.
I'm surprised Draymond wasn't the one who said it. If you had asked me a week ago, you told me, all right, blank said what Chris Paul, he's a choker, he's not good in the playoffs and he can't defend. If you had told me that a week ago, but you didn't tell me who said it, I would have probably said Draymond said it.
You know, it wouldn't have surprised me if he would have said it, but the fact that Patrick Beverly, who's very raw about what he says, came out and said it, I was like, okay.
I mean, JJ Redick told him you shouldn't say that, like you gotta respect him and all that, but also JJ, yeah, that man needs to hear some slander because y'all did the same thing to Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he needed to hear that. And now I want to see the backlash of it now for next season. I want to see how does Chris Paul respond.
I will tell you what Phoenix needs to do, but they're not going to do it. They're too proud to do it. And also, I don't think he would want to go there, but they need to trade Paul for Westbrook again. They need to send Paul to LA and they need to send Westbrook to Phoenix.
Yeah,
because Devin Booker, when Devin Booker had an off night, Chris Paul ain't the one who's going to carry him.
That ain't going to happen.
But if you gave Westbrook the ball, he would not score 10 points in a game 7. So
That's true. That's
but
true.
it ain't gonna happen. Westbrook will stay in LA and he'll get killed again. So who knows? Wow, my glasses look real bad.
It's okay. No, I mean that means it's coming from your heart this evening.
But we're distracted tonight. Watching the Lightning game. But
No,
I think it was a good episode. We hit a lot of stuff.
We were distracted tonight watching the Lightning game.
Well, you was telling me when they scored.
I thought
you was watching it too.
I thought you had a TV in your room. I'm not gonna lie, to be real with you. But folks, we really appreciate y'all joining us this evening, listening and talking with us. Ashton, I really love the points.
Thank you, Ashton, for those questions.
Again, like I said, the whole FCS playoffs celebration bowl thing.
What Ashton did is what we need more of from more people who watch the show. Like they brought up some topics we wasn't even thinking about talking about, and we talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. If you just mention it in the comment section, we will talk about it. Just mention it, we'll talk about it. But again,
everybody thinks differently and has different ideas that pops up in their head, and just beautiful ideas.
I know.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for episode lucky number 7 for us, obviously, because the Magic got the number 1 overall pick for the first time since Dwight. So we shall see. I do not want them taking Chet Holmgren. I'll have a whole rant on it. I do not want another skinny guy. No. Dwight wasn't skinny. Shaq wasn't skinny. Don't make that thing about Chet. Chet is a twig compared to Shaq.
Maybe we should have a tailgate at Grambling to celebrate.
I go Yale.
Or maybe we should
give me a time machine. I'll go to 1906.
Maybe we should talk about
tailgating.
Maybe we should talk about the SEC and Jackson State.
You brought the oh, by the way, prayers to all the people up in Buffalo, California, and there was another mass shooting that happened the other day. Prayers up to those people out there. That is some stuff that shouldn't be happening nowadays, but it is. But what we can do about that? These people need to see that they're all the same type of people. It's just the melatonin, the melatonin. I don't know. I got it. The melanin levels in everybody are different, but they're all the same people. They have the same blood, same heart, and everything. But I don't get people in general. But we need to move past all this crap. But it is what it is right now. Prayers to those families who lost the people that think going to a grocery store. That's kind of messed up. You find that in a third world country, not in the U.S. Come on, people. What's the thing? Be better. I think that's the phrase.
Do better.
Be better. Do better. Do better and be better. Yes. But yes, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for another episode. Might have a different background next week. It might be somewhere else, but it'll be all good.
Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe.
Any last words? Stay blessed.